Hello, hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good, and this is our newsletter. Welcome. This is kind of a vlog style-ish newsletter. I don't mean to make it cringy, but in reality, I think this is just the most effective way to get everything that God has done in the last 3 months communicated to you. Obviously, you can read the newsletter, but I think there's something more intimate and intentional with just sharing you what God has done. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about 2 specific things of September, some big highlights and stories that happened in October / the end of this month, and what I'm looking forward to, some things I'm wanting to share with you. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so September. The 2 things I'm going to share really highlight and is a reminder for me that this is worth it. This is absolutely worth it. We had our week of welcome events, and from there was a lot of turnover. There were a lot of people that stuck around and wanted to get plugged into community, believe it or not, and just really liked what was going on. The godly community that God gives, what it's supposed to be. And from there, yeah, we had a big turnover to the point where unexpectedly we had a Sunday gathering where we had over 73 people show up. And I think that is amazing because I personally don't think I've ever seen that in Fort Collins, specifically in our local site here. And I think that's worth celebrating, that it was a good problem to have where we were overwhelmed. We didn't know what to do, to the point where we're considering finding another room, and we're trying out other rooms because the max capacity in that room is only 80 people. And so that is just something we're celebrating. And I'm really grateful because, frankly, in the 73 people, 3 of them were the people I'm discipling now. And I'm just so grateful to have that experience and to be really pouring into the people that want Christ, that want this. And so, yeah, that's the first thing I want to highlight. The second thing I do want to highlight is one of my friends who goes to a different ministry now, who came to know the Lord, who wanted to follow Christ in our fall retreat that we had. I'm trying to quote it well because I wasn't there when it happened, but when he told me, I was really moved. Essentially, we had a breakout session, and they started talking about purpose. And in the breakout discussion he had with his group, he really poured his heart out. And I remember him telling me that he had never felt so loved and at peace and cared for with the people around him, that they hugged and embraced him and prayed over him and put their hands on him, and just a really sweet, holy moment where he told me himself he experienced the love of God. And that is just something worth celebrating because God is love. God is faithful. And that's part of my testimony too. I experienced the love of God through community that made me want to follow Christ. And so that moved me more than it should have, but I'm glad it did. And so, yeah, he goes to a different ministry now, but we love him, and he's never been happier. And you can just see this sense of life in him. Like, I'm quoting him right now. And I think it's just so cool to hear. And so, yeah, those are the 2 things in October I want to highlight with you. And yeah, we'll get into October now. So as I mentioned a second ago, there are 3 people that came together that I'm discipling now: Hudson, Liam, and Lucas. And the thing I want to highlight right now is they all committed. They're verbally committed, and they want this. It wasn't anything I pressured them. They do want this. We have a church convention our church does called ResCon, and that's in February. We do it once a year, and specifically for the 3 of them, they really wanted to go. They're actually really excited about it because they believe they really want to experience what the church is as a whole body. What I mean by that is, while we are one church, we have 15 different sites. And so ResCon is a time where over the weekend we get to all meet together and worship collectively. It's our conference, and they want to really see the church body. And the way I would put it is a glimpse of the corporate worship we're going to have in heaven, where we're going to be singing praises and feasting at the banquet. And so, yeah, they are so excited for that, and I'm really excited to teach them how to do that. Right now, I'm teaching them how to support raise. They're getting their tickets, and that's a conversation that's going on right now with the people I'm leading as well, in the bigger picture as a staff member. And so I will tell you more about that later at the end. Now, the other thing I want to highlight, this specific story I'm going to highlight has been an unfolding process since August. And just recently, well, I'll just start sharing it. Our village, describing what Village is first, if you don't know it, Village is a space our church will host weekly on campus. We have 4 different villages. These are groups of people where we meet weekly on campus, inviting students into community. It's a place where if they want spiritual conversation, they can, we're down to get spiritual conversations, but it's really a place of feeling like anyone can be there and show up and experience what it means to be around a church body in some ways. It's a glimpse of that. We're pouring into them. We're hoping to plant the seeds in them by looking like Christ in those spaces. So yeah, we meet weekly, we have discussions, we hang out. Obviously there's food that we make, if I didn't already mention that. And so with that said, in Village, I met her through one of the Village events we had, but she's been with us since August. And I'll say this statement and then unwrap that too. As far as I can recall, she's the most integrated, most involved non-believer I think I've come across in our church, which is a crazy statement to say. She'll host events for our church. She's there at Sunday gathering. She's there at Village. Like anything we're hosting, she's there as well. So it's just really crazy. And the reason I want to elaborate the story is because just recently she came to know Christ as of Monday. She had said that she wanted to follow Christ and make him Lord, and we got to pray over her. And so worth celebrating, because I remember she joined us when I was trying to meet students on my job during evangelism, and she came with us. That's what I mean by she's involved, by the way. Like, she's also with us in the harvest, in evangelism as well, meeting students. So I just think it's crazy in a really good way. There's a moment when one of my coworker and she came with us, and I remember her audibly saying, preaching really makes her nauseous. And that really stuck with me. And I knew only the hand of God can show her who he actually is. And just recently, this last Sunday, she had expressed that she never felt so cared for in her life that she had to leave. And she was really trying to process what it meant to follow Christ. And so from there, last Monday, she gave her life to Christ. And so just want to really highlight that, because, man, it was humbling for me. Like, I know God can do anything, but I think there was a moment where I was like, God, only you can do something here. And I pray that you would. I really pray that you would, Lord. And it was humbling just to see God move through her heart and his own timing, and how he wants to do it. And so, yeah, I just want to highlight that too. Now, the last thing I want to share is what I'm looking forward to in November. In full transparency, support raising has been really, really hard. And I've been really struggling with my faith recently. And it's never been this bad. I'm doing way better now, thank the Lord, but it was really bad. But I think God used that for good, because from that, he's really put in my heart to consider church planting again one day. And I'll talk about that too. Preparing as if the desire, I'm preparing like I'm taking the desire seriously to be someone that pastors, someone that becomes an elder. And for me, that's a lot of weight. That's a big responsibility. It's a big role. But the question I keep asking myself is, what else would I be doing? What else would I do? And so with that said, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for committing me and my development as a leader, as a follower of Christ, and just reaching the lost. These last 6 months have been absolutely great, and I don't even recognize myself. And the stories I'm sharing, this is where your investment is going. Like, it is doing something. God is using it, and I'm grateful that you put your trust in him by letting me be used. Thank you for partnering with me personally. And just, yeah, I'm just thankful for that, and I don't really know what to say. For his glory, and amen. So yeah, that's everything that's happened in the last 3 months that I really wanted to fixate on and highlight. I do want to post more consistently in my newsletters monthly, but sometimes I think it's just better to let it accumulate and really just share kind of like a big post. This is what's going on. And so, camera's down. So yeah, that's everything I had. If you guys need prayer, please let me know. There should be a hyperlink in the newsletter where I can be praying for you, and it will reach to me, and it's anonymous too. No one else is gonna know. So yeah, I want to be praying for you guys. I really care for you guys, and I'm really thankful again for you just being willing to partner with me so that I can be on campus. I don't know what else I'd be doing, to be honest with you. And frankly, I don't need to think about that, because this is where God has me. And so, yeah, that's everything. I'll see you guys in the newsletter. Thanks for watching. Bye.